Hello, I'm Victoria Fritz in the business news. From today, your rights when you're shopping online have been strengthened. You now get 14 days to get a full refund, including the cost of returning goods. Shares in some of the UK's biggest house builders fall sharply today after the Chancellor says he's giving the Bank of England new powers to cap mortgage lending. And oil prices rise to a 9-month high amid concerns that developments in Iraq could be affecting global supplies. Good afternoon to you. Older people should be encouraged to stay and work longer and boost their own pensions and help the economy. That's according to new guidelines from the government. The number of older workers will increase substantially in the next decade, and the Pensions Minister says they're an untapped resource with a lot to offer. Our business correspondent John Moylan reports.
There's a sea change underway in the workforce. In the coming decade, there will be 3.7 million more people between 50 and the state pension age. Many of them will be either employed or looking for work, a huge rise with big implications.
We're clearly moving to a world where retiring early with a gold clock and a big pension is something of the past. So we will need to work longer, but actually it's in businesses' benefit to retain experienced and productive workers. It's a win-win for individuals, businesses and the economy as a whole.
More of us are living longer, healthier lives, but the government knows that is potentially a bigger burden on the state in terms of pensions and benefits. So it wants as many of us as possible to extend our working lives too. That includes getting people back into work. At this job centre in Birmingham, they are piloting tailored provision for job seekers, as those who lose their jobs in their 50s and 60s tend to be unemployed for longer.
I have an advisor who looks after the over 50s, and I find that beneficial because I built a relationship with her and she understands my needs.
There's a job out there for me. It's just getting to it, wanting to be one of the first. There's so many people going for it, and they can be quite fussy.
And I do get the feeling that they, when I apply for a job, they look at my age and think, well, you know, he's good for another 3-4 years.
To help encourage more of this, companies that value more experienced staff, the government plans to appoint a new older workers champion. And firms will be encouraged to allow flexible working, allow staff to change work patterns or find alternative roles. But some warn that working longer won't be suitable for all.
Working longer is fine for people where it's a genuine choice and where they're physically and mentally able, but people shouldn't be forced to carry on working simply because they can't afford to retire.
Working into our 60s and beyond looks set to become the new norm, but that will create challenges for businesses, workers and the government alike. John Moylan, BBC News.
Trouble at Twitter today. The company's chief operating officer has resigned. Ali Rogani is just the latest in a long line of top bosses to step down since the social network floated on the stock market earlier this year. He had been charged with signing up more users to Twitter, but growth has been pretty sluggish and Twitter's share price has fallen sharply. The company's product chief also quit in January and its senior vice president of engineering has also stepped down. Mr. Rogani signed off with a tweet saying, "Goodbye Twitter, it's been an amazing ride and I'll cherish the memories." Let's have a quick look at some of the other stories making the headlines today. A growth spurt for Britain's builders means that the wider economy has expanded more quickly than first thought in the opening 3 months of this year. Shares in Petra Diamonds have jumped after it announced the discovery of this, an exceptional blue diamond. Analysts think it could be the most valuable rough diamond ever found. Here it is, as you can see behind me. The blue diamond that currently holds the crown for the most valuable was sold earlier this year for just under $24 million. And from diamonds to something a little bit less glamorous, sports bras, because John Lewis, Debenhams and House of Fraser have been cleared of price fixing of Britain's most popular sports bras after a 2-year investigation. Let's check in with the markets, see what's going on at the moment. And it's Mark Carney who's really been hitting the markets today. His hints over interest rates have really hit the construction firms today. Check out Barratt Developments, down over 7% at the moment. And when you look at the pound versus the dollar, it's near a 5-year high. It hit 16993 earlier today. You can see it's 1695 at the moment. The number we're looking for it to breach is 17017. If it reached that, it would hit the peak that it had in August 2009. I'll have a full roundup of all the markets news with the stockbroker Justin Urquhart Stewart in just over an hour's time. I'll see you then.
See you then, Victoria. Thank you very much.